bursty magic damage would be considered to be decent, but I guess that's not necessarily in the laning phase either.
Yeah, in the lane, you can't CS very well because he just breathe fires and shoves a lane into your tower, and you lose all your damage. And you can't actually kill, so you have to orb to CS. And when you orb to CS, you're super open to get killed by any kind of rotator if you're constantly orbing to get an ECS. And that's really rough for a puck player. And also Earth Spirit is a similar idea. You don't want Earth Spirit. It's really, it can be variant.
Okay, complexity. So, like in here, you mentioned the idea of a Chen possibly still on board. In here, you mentioned the idea of a Chen
I'm feeling the Chen Omni or Sand King. I'm feeling the Chen Omni or Sand King. Two of those three. So I would definitely pick. Terrorblade somehow made it so well. You couldn't see either one. Terrorblade somehow made it so well. You couldn't see. But I don't think that means too much. That game was a disaster for the most part. I don't think it was on the Terrorblade at all.
Yeah. God, that's an interesting thing. Again, with the whole that IO talent tree edition with the level 15, the granting and Ags, kind of makes you think about two potential partners and
the Vistage.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. Consider how long of a cooldown that is.
There's the Sand King. I love that. I mean, they could get Vistage in the next two, honestly, so it doesn't get 5th banned.
Level 59. I mean, let's be honest. Level 59. That's tough to get sometimes. So it's still like that's quite the journey for this hero. But you know, you manage to get there. Yeah, you can really benefit again with a hero like Visage because once he summons that third familiar, at least for that summon, he's got 3, and that's sticking. So
the benefit of getting levels on a hero like Io is your whole entire goal is to, I could see a Visage next pick. I saw Optic doing Bane Visage, and they just had the birds follow him around, and he would just Nightmare and then ult with the Bane, and then the birds would just wreck whoever that he was with. I could easily see Visage coming out here for EG, but yeah, Wisp actually finds it. I mean, it's not every game, but if Wisp is doing what Wisp wants to do, which is stay alive, and by virtue of that, keep another hero alive, can find himself getting good levels.
Okay.
That's typically if you're winning, though.
Mm-hmm. So now complexity again, especially almost if you maybe expect even a Visage possibly. Is there a hero that could come to mind? And they still need a position 4 in probably their mid lane.
I struggle myself with knowing what to run in the Visage. The heroes are very obnoxious.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I've seen teams prioritize very strong physical damage. Cores like Terrorblade and that and very strong lanes. I was thinking one thing I could see, if not Visage, I mean, they could even do Drow Visage.
Ooh,
and that could be really spooky for EG. Do I want them to do that? I feel like there's a chance that if they make a couple mistakes, the Gyro Sinking AA could just be too much and run over a Drow Visage lineup. But they could also just clean it out in 15-20 minutes as well.
See, that's the thing. You're up 2-1 in a best of 5. And I think that does mean, like, okay, if they're up 2-0, maybe I can see that be more realistic. 2-1 is still a little scary because then obviously if Complexity wins this and it's the final game, winner takes all. So, yeah, do you want to bank on just sending you to Epicenter with that strategy, or do you say it's just too risky perhaps? But they go Pugna on the side of Complexity. What? Is that going to be a mid Pugna? Assume so.
Is that going to be I mean, it's definitely not a support bug. I mean, it's definitely not a. I think we'll just put it where it's a good matchup. I put in my notes that I was noticing a lot of weird interactions. I put in my notes that I was noticing a lot of interactions. I put in my notes that I was noticing a lot of interactions in the same game, and I was kind of trying to figure it out myself, but I didn't come to any major conclusions. I think I find Puck pretty strong against Pugna. Just in general, I mean, you can silence him, you can interrupt him with the ult, and you can phase shift off the Siphon or whatever his spell's called, the Suck.
Yeah.
So you have decent tools to deal with Pugna. So I could even see that being like a 1v1 matchup, whether it's mid or in a side lane.
Okay.
In this game.
So the idea that Pugna was picked into a puck is just the curious thing then, is, you know, complexity and...
I think it's really strong. I think all these heroes are super squishy, and they don't have anyone who can sort of run at Pugna and stop him from slow sieging a building over and over again. Mm-hmm. I don't see that on their lineup, and maybe that's the value Complexity's going with.
Sven stands ready.
I really like this Sven. They needed a tanky BKB a front lane hero with all this craziness on Complexity side in terms of magic damage.
You're not concerned. I mean, obviously BKB changes it, but I guess my biggest concern for him right now is the kite factor. Granted, you have an IO, you have a puck drink to help people in place Bane, so maybe that isn't a concern really. At the same time,
I am less concerned about that, and more they do ban the Visage, which I think was mega necessary. I'm more concerned with him actually getting that BKB when he needs it, rather than being kited. I think they'll find, and maybe it'll come from their 5th pick, they'll find something to hold people still, and I think the puck will do a decent job. And you have overcharge from Wisp will give him a lot of move speed, and he naturally gets good move speed.
So you're dealing with a Warcry now as well. I mean, they already are fairly good at magic damage, honestly, with Pugna, Gyrocopter, even, of course, we know about him. And I'm wondering now, too, again, do they maybe go for like they put Sand King on position 4 and they have like a Quap
turn to pick.
final pick here, something along those lines.
Team pick.
Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Fiend.
I could actually see maybe even like a TA here.
Okay.
Myself.
So you wouldn't mind physical damage? Oh, well, it's banned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's banned.
You did ban.
Oh,
yeah.
I missed it, but hey, maybe it looks like I know something.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, man, that would have been a really good pick.
5 seconds remaining.
Hence the ban.
Yeah, I mean, Quap is like the next best thing that I can think of, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, again, it's the idea of, do you want to take advantage of just more magic damage, especially with Decrepify even on top of that, or
they could also just go Terrorblade mid or something. They could also Razor's also very easy to spam something.
All right.
They could also Razor's also very easy to spam something.
More physical now.
They could also Razor's also very easy to
It's
spam
going to be
something.
Pug 9, and will be Sand King as a support. All right, Fear on Sven. Our TZ on a Shadow Fiend. The crit IO is here.
It's interesting because I mentioned earlier when Limp picked Shadow Fiend and he had an excellent game, I mentioned that I felt like Shadow Fiend was one of the mid laners that if you're doing Razor versus Shadow Fiend actually doesn't mind all that much getting some damage taken, and I feel like can lane really well against Razor. So I actually really like how I think EG is going to set up most of their lanes. I always see these lineups from Complexity where they could just run you down, and it terrifies me to some extent.
I'm with you, yeah. That's again, when you look back at the game 1 of this series, that's exactly what happened. But to EVG's credit, they did the same thing game 2 in their favor, and then game 3 a little more back and forth. But that's why they're up 2-1 now in this best of 5. So that was a swing game, and now Complexity, they need to swing it back to force that 5th and final game. Or else it's the Evil Geniuses going to Epicenter. That's what's on the line. All right, another pause to start here, unfortunately, but luckily I haven't been plagued with too many delays this series, to knock on wood here. It's been a pretty good flow. This best of 5.
Looking around at some starting items, that was one thing that was coming to my mind, is how does the starting gold affect Wisp just buying a bottle? Occasionally we'd see something like a Wisp start with maybe a Salve or a Fairy Fire and then go bottle. But it looks like he's just going to clean go no item and then just wait 60 gold, 50 gold.
Yeah. Very interesting to see Limp actually, he's now playing the Gyrocopter. He was actually on Razor initially and then they swapped it out. So Chessie on the Razor.
I like that a lot more. I like that a lot more. I think especially if you're going to run, like, I would imagine they're going to AA Gyro mid. That's what I expect. And I like that a lot more than AA Razor, personally.
Okay.
And I was talking before how I wasn't really comfortable putting the Razor against the Shadow Fiend.
Well, let's see how it shapes up. Z-Freak right now here up the top lane for Complexity, scouting it out. Samael's already up here on Puck. We have Misery on his Bane. Hitting over as well. The line is drawn by Misery right there. It's almost like he was drawing as if where Complexity may be trying to go. Drawn it from their side. And then, well, they're going to see Z-Freak at least. Does he not see Puck again out of this? Some information there at least. Fear and Crit are at the bottom lane right now. for the time being. And they're going to go for the bounty rune, but it's looking like it is going to be Sven in the aggressive lane.
Yeah, and they're trying to trying to put they're lane swapping again. I was thinking maybe you'd want Razor against Sven, but I suppose not if you're just getting wrecked by Wisp and he's mostly solo. So they're gonna have Razor, I imagine, solo top.
Yep, he's going up there. He's I guess Pugna could just play it safe and, you know, harass with that Nether Blast and get some last hits even. Also Decrep annoyance.
Start out. We see a missile to lead and then some kind of follow-up from the...
Yeah. They're seeing. Yep. They're seeing now. They're going in, though. They're trying to catch up to Shadow Fiend.
Z-Freak has boots. They can easily catch him, but I don't think they have the damage.
No. Courier's coming in as well, but... Yeah, now with Io, he gets away. Oh, Kyle almost dies middle lane. Wow. That was really close. Bane managed to do a lot of damage to him. But he walks it off for now. So now Misery's in kind of an awkward spot. I think Misery could be the one in trouble now. Girl Strike's ready. He's hugging the cliff here. Kyle, though, again, a little bit too far himself on the other cliff. So very interesting interaction between the heroes, but ultimately nobody dying.
Both teams scared to commit, and I don't blame them.
Pugna, he's being run down bottom lane. He's going to be barely fine as he pops the salve himself, and now Sand King's coming bottom. But crit. He's got the level 1 bottle. He's healing up just fine. Definitely got some fun action to start here. All ready for game number 4. As top lane, Chessie could be in a little bit of trouble now. Is he the one that potentially could be falling? Bane running in, has that brain sap? I think so. Yeah, but he had to dodge the orb, and that pretty much guaranteed his death.
What's this? A fascinating substance.
So, not the most fun lane for Razor, especially if the Bane's up there.
Yeah, he wanted a 1v1, but they're not gonna let that happen for free.
So now, if you're Complexity, I mean, do you think about maybe just sending Razor bottom lane instead and just saying, you know what, match up against this Sven IO in the safe lane?
You could. I think it's more about they want Z-Freak to be with the Razor. I think Z-Freak's been wasting a little bit of time, and he is coming top.
Link was already used by Razor, though. He got 31 damage, so not the craziest. And Bane is able to walk it off. He is fine, so... Middle matchup, Gyrocopter versus the Shadow Fiend is what it ends up being a 1 versus 1 now. And Jarl, he's doing very good here middle.
Yeah, he definitely had a tri-lane to start with. But he's naturally going to have a really good start. Once 5 or 7, though, he'll just start raising over and over again. And just be pretty easy.
Let the world end now. It matters.
Kind of caught that as it was finishing him off, basically. It looks like he orbed it and got caught with a Pearl Strike after the orb.
Basically, it looks like he tried to dive later. He had 3 raise stacks on him. He's looking for a 4th. Wasn't able to get it, though.
Homing missiles up, but Arteezy will be fine. Probably have to go all the way... Oh, actually did more damage than I expected to, but yeah, he's good. There's a level 2 homing missile. Gonna have to go all the way back to base, though, but yeah, it goes back to Gyrocopter. He's having a very good time in the middle lane. And Razor, I mean, with the death, he's still managing. Now with a kill on top of that, he's 17-2, looking very good. And this is now turning into that 2 versus 2 lane you mentioned. They wanted Z-Freak up here with, and they get it. And he's going to take a Nightmare. Does Sumail think he can get a kill out of this? Oh,
There's a 5 charge stake that he has to account for.
He's good. We got some very aggressive lanes here.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think Complexity's coming out ahead right now.
Kyle, TP in time.
Yeah, really smart choice to TP. There was no way he was getting out of there.
Yeah.
They were gonna have another Svenstein.
Double damage.
Very close call. Once again, guys, just let me know for sure if when you guys hear this. I adjusted my audio delay every once in a while when I'm streaming a little bit longer, and for some reason the delay kind of kicks in with the audio. So let me know if it's good now. If not, I'll make some more adjustments for it. Back to the game now. So very even in terms of net. Let me know if it's good now. It's not, I'll make CS middle lane. But Shadow Fiend, the master of recovering, especially if you're stacking camps, which I'm sure they are. Granted, you have a Sven on your team too. You want to take a good chunk of those. Oh, they're going in here again. They're going to body block a little bit. He's going to eat a mango though, puts the crep on. Another Stormhammer in 5 seconds. Warcry, they're diving for the Sand King. He's going to TP. Has a stun use. If Fear can find the Stormhammer. Finally runs into him. Whoa, he's
this
just
is really weird to watch.
This is, yeah, I don't know what to expect in the end result. It's because
Fear should be swapping his TP out of his backpack so that there's no chance of
that's a good
bad
point.
play.
Yeah, Pug not keeping his distance that whole time too. Burrow Strike's ready again. If they catch Crit especially, they might actually just go for Fear. Crit doesn't have any region. He does have a wand use, or a stick use. Oh, it's not in time though! He used it a half a second too late and the Nether Blast hits. Meanwhile, Kyle goes down elsewhere. Over here at Bane, but definitely the trade for Complexity.
How did Kyle get solo killed by Bane?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bane might get a double kill.
Oh no. Oh, and he popped the shrine, and you see the pinging, and they're like, there has to be a ward here.
That's why we coined the phrase psychological damage, because that was rough. Great play by Misery though, right place, right time. And, I mean, they even shined.
Bottom lane again, they're running in. Z-Freak, he's fine for now. He's actually thinking about going back in, but with Bane down here again, turning into
another
a
Sven 1 second.
Moo, is he in trouble? The Stormhammer will connect, and that'll be the end of him. Z-Freak, he just sits next to the tower, not much more he can do, so already a 4-2 start now for Evil Geniuses. Feels like there's been more hero kills than that, honestly.
There's been a lot of salves. Oh, TZ tried to go for a double raise into a triple raise there, but... Whoa.
Middle.
The gyro wall.
Yeah, Limp going for big play there on RTC. Not enough damage, but gets him fairly low. Top lane, Sumail. Ooh, John's away at the last second.
A prize.
Man.
One more
Stuff
attack.
happened all over.
Yeah, and that's continuing now bottom lane. Sven pops his Warcry, gets some armor buff. And that'll be the end of that. But now Z-Freak, you know, his job is to apparently babysit Moo down here.
Is under attack.
Everyone has raindrops this game. Raindrops on more than half these heroes. Just because it's so high value.
Can they go back in? This Isle, though, healing up. Again, no more bottle charges. He does have that stick, though. Moo running after him. Storm after one. It does connect. He'd become an information now. First against a kill, though. But now Crit is in some trouble. A Tether is ready to go. He's going to use it, but just too much damage. Will take him out. And Fear's just going to walk it off. Top lane. Bane puts the sleep on a Razor. Got his link up first, but only 28 stolen damage. And now he needs to find his way out of here. Again, Sumail does have a Drain Coil, so he couldn't necessarily TP, but...
Mid?
Is he diving for mid? He sure is. Rocket Barrage in the face of Shadow Fiend. Gets the kill. Back to the top lane. Jesse getting low. The Brain Set not up for the finish, though. Jesse sitting his ground. Great Burrow Strike coming out from Z-Freak. Sets up one kill, at least on a Bane. And Jesse is going to back off, but it's not enough. Crit here with Sumail. Take at least him out. Now they want Z-Freak, but another Burrow Strike is ready. In fact, they may go back in, yeah. Going to go on a puck right there. Z-Freak puts on the Sandstorm. Moves here. Not enough damage, though, to take out Crit. He still goes down, but the Nether Blast ends up taking out Puck. Yeah, he purposely did not stun that way to avoid the orb. And the damage. And now Moo's going to die to Crit a triple kill. And he's going to fall right out. What is happening in this game? I just don't even know anymore. I don't know Dota.
15 kills, Breaky. In 8 minutes.
I don't get it.
Drum's going to be the item of choice for Shadow Fiend. I could see something like drums into straight BKB being the item here. It's like feels pretty necessary, so that's what I'm gonna recommend for our TZ. Hopefully he does. I mean, I know he'll make the right choice, but hopefully I'm right. And that's definitely what I do because you just feel, as a Shadow Fiend, extremely threatened in this kind of game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, or middle lane, I'm watching Sand King trying to avoid death right here. You have Limp going down elsewhere, though. Looks like he died at the top lane, and Zefrik's just simply still trying to escape against the Bane and the Shadow Fiend. But now they're going to look to turn to Craps out the Drain Life. Drain Sap will heal up his little bit. Nightmares on himself, going to keep himself alive. Gets a double raise onto Moo. Not enough damage over now Zefrik. They're focusing after him, but the Infused Raindrops helping him. Well, I guess that technically didn't even proc right there, but he stays alive in the end as he walks it off. So they're actually just all over. Sumail wants to come clean them up, but he's getting here just a little bit too late.
Notice how Fear rotated to the top lane and Razor rotated to the bottom lane right when catapults come out? 10 minutes. They're both going to try and pressure these lanes.
Yeah.
I find that really interesting while all this stuff's happening in the side lanes.
Well, they're going middle lane. Call down's coming out. Gyrocopter is going to be slept initially. Call down doing plenty of damage to RTZ. Pretty much knows he's dead. Just trying to return as much as he can. But Bane's going to fall. The rotation from Chesty proven to be very worthwhile. Sumail. He turns around the Dream Coil though, waiting, ripped in the face, Zefrik getting low, he lands a Barrel Strike however, and now Sumail's in trouble, the face shift's not going to be enough, Zefrik stays alive, Chesty gets a double kill out of this, and now it's 12 to 10 hero kill lead. I still don't know what to make of this game. it's
Major overextension after taking the tower for Gyrocopter, and they die for it, fall apart.
And Sven's going to go back to the bottom. Okay, we have a little bit of a window here, Henry. Let's finally kind of catch up on what the hell's going on. Razor, I actually don't see his progress. He's got the Power Treads, Ring of Aquila, so maybe drums to come on him, but you do have him coming on Gyrocopter, so maybe not. No, he does queue it up, I was going to say.
It's just too good on Razor to have that innate move speed.
Yeah. Especially
if you're going to go the Treads build. And he's going to have like 1800 HP at like 15 minutes with that build. It's going to be extremely tanky Razor.
Wow. Fear popping a God Strength to push this bottom lane. The War Cry, but now...
Wisp relocate.
Oh, that's killing Gyrocopter. Yeah, right over here. They relocate in, but now they're pretty deep. Relocate out of 4 seconds. Can Creek get it off in time? The Barrel Strike hits though. No, he's going to die. Now Sumail's in trouble. He thought he was getting a way out of here. He was not, though, in the end. And the Urine's going to finish him off, it looks like. And they get credit as a team. The chaos just continues. The Sand King has that urn. That's obviously a very effective item to have in this game.
Yeah, I really love Zefrik's build. He has Tranquils and Windlace, very fast move speed to catch people, as well as great build-up items in the Urn and the Wand. Typically you'll see, it's a similar philosophy to what Moo is doing when he plays position 3 Sand King, just to invest in the current state of the game instead of just trying to leverage all of your gold into a blink and make sure that that is a play. I really like his item progression a lot. He knows.
And now drums come to Razor. They catch him, they did. That beautiful setup with the Barrel Strike, Epicenter, Ice Blast, and the Ice Blast will finish the job. Zefrik credit, actually.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's, they happen to find him here. You see this ward. Saw him go over there, I'm guessing.
The brothers. Yeah.
And Complexity's starting to take control of the dire side. You see aggressive wards on both the top and the bottom here. That they have. They know that Shadow Fiend and Sven both wanted to take some jungle camps, the stack specifically.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Dire even scanning. They're trying to find that ward of Zefrik. I think he clipped it. Yeah, he clipped it.
Okay, just barely.
Barely. And that was pretty obviously ward. I mean, Sand King just stunned from fog.
Oh, and now Chesty finds Spear in the jungle. There is a shrine though, so pretty ambitious move back kill. He has a double damage rune though, so yeah.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Understandable why he wanted to fight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Arteezy's queuing up the drums BKB. That's definitely the item build this game. If he doesn't have a BKB at 20 minutes, they're just going to get absolutely run over. So super correct decision for him.
He also went that Spell Lamp talent. That's kind of, again, telling of maybe what to expect throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see any kind of Yule's trying to kill build. It's more for farming and also for just being useful right now in terms of killing, because with all the pressure that's happening, all the fighting, he needs to go that over attack speed.
Bottom lane, Zefrink, he's just kind of keeps pushing it out or just staying in the area at least. I mean, he has 1,600 gold now. Towards that,
I really love how I love how they're playing with the Sand King and with the AA. Z-Freak is always posturing around lanes that people are shoving out and playing the fog, never showing in the lanes, and they're trying to line up the double brother stun into AA ult.
Okay. Epicenter's ready. Sumail, he's trying to finish his own blink, and he's just about there. 2140. Here comes the Ice Blast. Z-Freak setting up. Epicenter. Is he going to start channeling it soon? There we go. Going for this kill. Here comes the Ice Blast. The connect is perfect. Execution. And despite the phase shift, it's still not going to be enough. He gets killed right there. And now Misery being run down with Z-Freak running into a trap. They relocated in? No, it wasn't even relocated, actually. Running over here.
Still, though, I definitely consider that worth it.
Yeah. Support Sand King for your off-lane pug of sorts. Who did he get his blink? No. He was just about there too.
It's crazy that Z-Freak is about to hit a blink at the exact same time as Sumail.
Yeah. That's true. So Complexity just keeps the pace going though. Another Ice Blast coming in bottom. This one will just push out the bottom.
Limp chose not to finish his drums, just going straight Yasha in SNY. Just got the bracer.
Maybe because Razor all of a sudden was getting it, so...
I'd like to think so, but I almost always see them just go 2 drums.
Sumail? He's got his phase shift call down and slow him down if anything. Another illusory orb though, and he should be good, yeah. Not catching up to him there. Saw top lane Razor managed to get away as well. So we're trying to collapse. What is Sven up to meanwhile? He's gonna go Blink next. What do you think of that? After the Mask of Madness.
I think they are very cognizant of the fact that they are going to have to fight one way or another. And so they're itemizing, you see the RTZ, the drums BKB, the Sumail Blink Rush. Even Wisp going Arcane Runes indicates to me, Arcane Boots indicates to me that he's looking to fight over like Spirit Vessel or Mech. I think they just know that that's the case for the game.
Yeah.
That's why he's going straight Blink to Mask of Menace.
Crit.
Will it pay off? I'm not 100% sure.
Well, that's what they're hoping for, obviously. Down here, smoke play from EG. They could catch Razor, maybe even the Sand King up here, actually. Well, instead, maybe going to cut off Limp. Yep, Drink Coil. That's going to be used. Limp, waiting Rip to relocate in right into the Roshan pit. Ice Blast comes out and connects, but at least on the puck. Definitely a kill, though, for EG that they're satisfied with. Sven is going to take out a nice double stack here at his Ancient side. Meanwhile, Crit gets away with the tether. All the way, and then bottom lane, Boo's just quietly Nether Strike window. Bottom lane, Boo's just quietly Nether Strike window. Oh yeah, by the way.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He has a Zeta lens now, so he has even more reach. Of course, a very good item on him. Not surprised to see that. I'm sure that into a Veil even.
Yeah, the magic damage amp is just so great for their team. Even though you're getting BKB rushes coming out from the Dire Course, particularly RTZ, and I imagine Sven might even get one after Blink. Yeah, he's queued it up now. It's still good, just to be able to kill particularly Wisp and the Bane extremely fast. That Veil.
So BKB just finished on Shadow Fiend. Is this a okay? We can fight now, BKB, or is this a safety net for EG? Of like now
this
if he gets
is yeah. This is a if they force us to fight, we can kind of fight BKB. This is not a all right. Let's go fight ourselves. They do not want to do that. Fear's not. I don't think Fear's ready. This is a worst case scenario. We're ready. Kind of itemizations is what I'm seeing.
They found Bane. Cold Feet's out, the slow. It's going to proc the Cold Feet, and that's an easy kill for Gyro there. That was a smoke play from Kyle, and obviously he eventually got exposed by Bane, but that was the whole point. Seeing if they can catch somebody. And that's something else, too. Yeah, Ancient Apparition with an Ice Vortex. You talked about the Veil of Discord, but that and both together, that's a lot of amped magic damage that they can potentially do this game. So, makes a lot of sense. Why they're going what they are. The SNY on Gyrocopters just around the corner now. They're not going to go tier 3. A little early for that. Still pre-20 minutes. But you see Shadow Fiend just kind of chilling here for now. least raise out the wave while Sven and others look for a gank of sorts. But as we notice on the mini-map, Complexity, they're kind of moving out now. Maybe Gyrocopter, yeah, he could be a victim here. Blink is ready on Sven. Oh, the last creep, run! So close. Maybe catch him on the Ancients, though. They do have a ward up there. They're still chasing. They would love to catch him, but he's just not showing himself enough. And so EG not comfortable.
Looks like they're trying to just transition into this bottom tower as the cores leave for calls. Almost an SNY for Gyrocopter. Doesn't look like a fight that Complexity wants to take. They're just gonna free tower, set up some deeper wards. It's like Crit is just drawing all over the map, saying this is where Complexity is playing.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious, considering they just ran all the way through the Radiant jungle. No one really shows. Razor has his own BKB finish now.
They missed the coil.
Oh, they were going top lane. Was that on Sand King, the attempt? Yeah.
Yeah, Sand King and Mu. They missed the coil and Zephyr just blinked out and dodged it. Pretty uncharacteristic of Sumail, and fortunate. Relocates on cooldown now, and they use God Strength on the Ancients too.
Down here, Crit. He's trying to get away. Homing Missile is still on him, but he's a good distance. I mentioned, of course, no relocate from him. Doesn't have a TP on him either, and I think that's why Complexity's maybe chasing. You know that for a fact. Call-down's going to come out. Ice Blast. That should finish the job. Shadow Feed. Yes. Wondering why Complexity maybe not turning attention, but back to the top lane. Mentioning Z-Freak. Stormhammer on him. Beans locking down Pugna with his ultimate, but Z-Freak managed to Pearl Strike away initially. Decrepify on Mu. That's not going to work. Z-Freak going with the epicenter. Mu's still alive somehow in the Nightmare. But no, he finally goes down. Sumail managed to barely live himself. Z-Freak still trying to escape. He's going for the TP. They don't have vision of him. And he actually gets out in the end. So they lose Mu, but a hell of an escape from Z-Freak. In the long run there.
Arteezy's done this a lot, and I've definitely been wanting to try. I just haven't had the games for it yet, which is the Drums BKB Shivas. I really, really like it in this kind of metagame where people are just running at you and you're forced to go to Drums BKB. The Shivas gives you the ability to land all your spells very easily with a slow, but especially the armor, and since you have this BKB rush, you're very, you're only really going to die to physical damage at this point, and having that armor is really useful. And then the attack speed slow against heroes like Razor and Gyro.
Yeah. It's
a very good multi-purpose item for when you've already built in a fight-oriented way that's not progressing the way you'd want. Like an instant kill Yules build or a spam right-click build with maybe S and Y. I really, really like it, and I'm looking forward to see it.
Yeah, he's getting there. I mean, obviously, you got the Shivas, the pattern first, but that's 2,800 gold still saved. He is really playing ballsy here. Now they have a relocate ready with IO.
Yeah, I think he definitely is very confident. He's just having a hard time landing all of his spells because of how fast everyone moves and kind of the lack of control. He hasn't been playing too much with Puck. He's mostly been playing with Wisp, and it's resulting in Arteezy not being able to get many kills, but he is farming a lot.
Puck, by the way, going to Lincoln's. Your defensive item here.
I think it's almost certainly in my mind is so he can't get instantly jumped by Sand King. Yeah. Because Sand King's Sun is blocked by Lincoln's. That has to be the reason for me. That's really his only condition for dying is Sand King. Everything else is super escapable. With phase shift and then blinking away.
Radiant are scanning.
Bane is TPing back in, so everyone's going to be here for EG. And Complexity, there's no Aegis or anything like that. They're just simply kind of trying to keep EG in their base. And choke them out here, but do they really want to go in is a question. Misery. Ooh.
Fear changed his mind about BKB heading into the SNY.
Okay. Oh, they just run at Bane, but this was the point. It's a bait play. However, Sven is going to be stunned. No BKB is mentioned. Beans locking out Raze in the back lines. Wreck Wave going off, though. Ancient Apparition going to be picked up by Sven, and Bane go down. Not going as planned so far for EG, or maybe a lip. He's getting low, but so is Arteezy. Has to back off with Crit. They do get relocated back to the fountain, and will survive. And Puck, though, he gets caught out. He had the face shift in the back lines. They catch him right after. So it ends up being a 3-for-1. All they lose was Ancient Apparition. Yeah, that you can tell that was a point for EG. They were baiting out Misery there, but the reaction was just instant from Z-Freak.
That was really well played. One thing I wanted to point out is Chessie with the blink on Razor. Hold that thought. Okay, they're not blinking. He realizes he had a lot of damage. His only real issue is actually distributing that damage and not getting kited. And actually getting on top of people, particularly Sven. So I really, really like the blink in that circumstance. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I saw MP do a similar thing with Terrorblade, where they have a lot of damage on these types of cores that aren't as fast as, say, maybe Gyro. And they remedy that with a Blink Rush on Terrorblade and Razor, so they can, well, actually deal the damage that they know they have.
Yeah. Well, Shadow Fiend, he has the Shivas now finished. Ready for another fight, but yeah, you're talking about Sven not going the BKB. And sure, he's going to have an S and Y now, but he's still got to figure the BKB, it's going to be coming after this then, right? There's no way he just passes it up altogether, or do you think he could possibly do that?
I think you have to go it. I can't imagine you not going. I mean, I could see. Yeah, I can't imagine.
They have an IO. I mean, he does have an IO, so maybe that's the one thing. He's relying on the IO for the saves, but still feels
the issue is
risky.
they have so much stuff that could really. Yeah, he's going BKB. They have so much stuff that could really botch that Wisp save, like Sanking Stun or A-Ult.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff on Wisp, and then he's not healing anyone.
It's been somewhat of a rocky game here. You look at the graphs for both net worth and experience. Dipping in favor of Complexity, though, as a whole. This time, as the middle tower, another blast coming out from Pugna. Gonna kill it just yet. Limp was TPing bottom lane, trying to prevent Arteezy from split pushing that tier 3 tower.
One thing I will say is this game is closer than it feels like it is. We have yet to see a major impact from Furia on the Sven, and once he sort of gets in there, particularly with a BKB or with a really, really good setup, stun, he can unleash a lot of damage that most of these fights have yet to see.
Uh-oh, bottom lane, Arteezy. He does have a BKB TP, he's just running at Limp, but all of a sudden reaction. Nope, they catch off crit though. They were like, yeah, you're not going to relocate him. Glimmer Caves go up for the relocate save. It's not in time though. Arteezy, can he get out? He sure can. He forced a BKB though. But good job by Complexity finding the IO nearby. Killing him, clearly expecting what he was trying to do.
I'm very, very curious as to why they've chosen to have Wisp play with Arteezy on the Shadow Fiend all game long.
Yeah, true.
I feel like having Wisp Sven and relocating into maybe where Arteezy or Sumail is could lend itself to far more kill opportunities than I don't think they've gotten a single, particularly Shadow Fiend Wisp relocate play. I mean, I know he can relocate into the base and save him, but they haven't even been able to accomplish that.
That's a really good point, actually. Didn't think about that until you mentioned it. He's definitely been tethering to Shadow Fiend in most cases and kind of split pushing with him, so Fear is going to push out that top tier 1, but that's just a tier 1. Meanwhile, on the base, Arteezy, Pugna's just draining his life. And Pugna's actually very close to an axe. 2,400, all he needs is the 3 items to finish that off. Already having the point booster. Again, Roshan is still up this whole time. I've been wondering if maybe even Complexity, if they've been kind of controlling the map, are they going to go for it? Nothing just yet, though.
I think it's really scary into Shadow Fiend Puck Sven. I think that's the only thing that's stopping them, and the fact that because of this with Shadow Fiend, they've actually done a good job of keeping the lanes pushed out. I will say they've definitely done that despite feeling like Complexity's had this kind of grip on them.
Sea Freak sitting middle lane. Level 2 Epicenter. See the vision, speaking of Roshan in that area. Oh, top lane, actually. That's General Cut to be locked up in the Fiend's Grid. The God Strength activated. He get the call done off. It's not going to die initially. Stormhammer may make it happen. It sure will. And Fear's going to TP immediately. As will Bane, it looks like. Great kill for EG.
Blink the next item for Arteezy. This is his boilerplate drums BKB build in games where he has to have a BKB fast. And now he'll be able to really get in there and start doing damage. He almost has the level 20 Shadow Raise damage talent, which I have to imagine, I'm almost 100% sure goes that talent. Find out in one more creep wave.
Yeah. Yeah, the evasion in this game doesn't seem...
Radiant's bottom tower is
I
under
mean,
attack.
it's good, but...
I really like the Fear with the move speed talent. I think a lot of lower MMR players don't realize that for a hero like Sven, move speed is damage. It is the condition with which you actually deal your damage. And I definitely think that
Radiant's middle tower is
the
under
correct
attack.
talent and will pay dividends far more than the 30 damage talent.
Dire are
Speaking of
scanning.
Shivas, Razor, he's going one of his own. That's the casual plate mail right now, but 2,700 gold about saved up for him, so he's just about there.
Yeah, it's really good. You can catch Wisp and interrupt one of his urns or something like that, and the attack speed's slow. The extra wave clear with Plasma Field Shivas, the armor, the mana pool increase. I mean, there's a million things that it does for Razor this game.
There's a gem purchased by Ancient Apparition. You want to take control of vision on the map. Again, you do got this one near Roshan, as we're talking about. As well as even the middle lane, entire side. Actually, a couple of pretty aggressive wards right there. Yeah, there's a Glimmer Cape as well, of course, in the hands of Crit, so another reason for having it is top lane Sumail. A little bit close, but with that blink in, it's tough to catch. Very slippery on puck, but now EG's kind of taking over this middle part of the map currently. There's another war going down right here. Jeez. Going the back lines. Yeah, they catch moves. To crap. Out comes the Pearl Strike, though. He is draining life on a Fear. However, the lock to the Sanky with the Beam Script will secure that kill move. Drain life only lasts so long. He does have the axe, so he's talking out and off Crit. He's draining his life. He does go down eventually, though. Crit did fall himself. Fear now is on the run. Chessie, he's sapping a lot of damage. 192 plus. He blinks on in, and Fear's just going to be run down. Nothing more he can do. Puck, he was in pursuit, hoping to catch up to Ancient Apparition, who's trying to juke away. Misery, a couple of attacks should do him in. Nope, the Glimmer Cape himself is actually going to keep him alive.
I really think Fear would have lived there if Chessie didn't have a blink.
No, you're right. And he actually gets a double kill out of this, too. Just eventually does run down the Bane.
And I really think the added benefit of having a blink is you can blink on Fear, and the unstable current will immediately purge the war cry off of him, which is the move speed and the armor.
Dire team gonna hold it, and they just nuked down Razor right off the bat. The Dagon level 1 purchased. That completely catches Complexity off guard, but they might kill Ortiz. The Ice Blast is not going to land. It might not matter, though. Homing Missile will finish the job. Limp, credit for that, but now he's in trouble. Pretty deep into the base. No Dream Coil. He doesn't have a TP in his inventory currently. It's in his backpack. He's just going to simply try to run. And for the time being, he looks good. Sand King's coming as well.
Illusion.
Nice Glimmer Cape. Sumail, if he goes in here, could be scary. Yeah, he's going to stop. Ooh. Alright. That fight finally comes to an end. Where do we stand now here, Henry?
I think Complexity is almost ready to start going to Roche. They may even, I mean, they're pinging it, both teams are pinging it right now. They may even do it now, after they push out mid.
Yeah.
That's really what they've been trying, but they just haven't had the confidence to do it. Yeah, I don't blame them, considering the types of heroes you have in the Dire team. There's a smoke from EG, though. There are only 3 heroes smoked.
Shadow
Wisp is
Fiend.
bottom because
Complexity goes for a smoke of their own, too.
both teams broke it, but the wards are placed for EG.
Yeah.
EG's not going to let them have this for free. Look at Kyle and Limp, though. Wrapping around. Kyle drew a line, wrapping around from behind.
They're trying to flank. We'll see if they can get the jump. They see
They
Bane
spotted
right
Misery.
there. They're going to get Misery. Pearl Strike just out of range. Oh, he stays out of range, unfortunately. God Strength popped by Fear. Fear's running in. Chessie, but he bounced his own PKP. Fear was not expecting that. Out comes the sap with the static drain here. And Fear, he's doing no damage, so he's just going to keep on running. Bane will get picked off. Shadow Fiend jumping to the backlines with his own BKB as Pugna is trying to be the focus target. They eventually get him killed, but at what cost now for Shadow Fiend? Going for the Requiem play. He gets it off in time, mitigating some damage if anything and slowing them down, but it's not going to be nearly enough. And Shadow Fiend falls as well. 2 for 1 so far in favor of Complexity.
He has a buyback.
Is under attack.
I wonder if their goal is to rather force the buyback than go Roche. Seems not likely.
Yeah, Fear was not expecting Chessie to pop his BKB there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He jumped right on top of him, and he's like, wait a second, I can't stun you.
It's hard sometimes as a Sven to, especially during daytime when you're fighting in open vision like this, to actually be the guy who initiates on a BKB target, because, I mean, if they have really good reaction time, as many of these players do, that windup on that stun is enough time to just pop a BKB, and they don't have so, like, even Sumail, if you blink coils, they just BKB, it's the same concept. They don't really have anything like a lion that can...
the lion value, you would go to a hero. A hero you love so much. No, but, yeah, exactly, the insta-catch is not there, necessarily, for Evil Geniuses, so these BKBs proven to do a lot of work, and both on Razor and Gyrocopter. Still has 8 seconds left on his. Razor still has 7 seconds on his. So again, in that Roshan pit, but it's like going back to you, it doesn't seem like they're going to comfortably do it.
One thing I wanted to say there is I thought was really just great, truly great, is that Limp was carrying the dust, which you would never see from a core player normally. But he had an open item slot, and he just backpacked the one and was carrying dust. And that, since they had a Glimmer Cape, actually got him a kill. And otherwise, they just would not have gotten a kill in the fight previous.
Yeah, we see that gem still on AA. Not on the dire side yet. Dagon, currently level 2. And
both cores are going Butterfly, which is going to be really bad for Sven. I don't think he's in a situation where he really wants to build MKB. Maybe he could consider a Bloodthorn, but I still don't even think that's going to remedy this Butterfly problem.
I'll take your tribute.
Yeah, I mean, really the biggest issue right now for Sven these last couple of fights as we've seen. I mean, obviously Razor's focusing him as, by the way, they kill the top range racks. Going in, Sumail doing what he can. You see the Nether Ward zapping him back. Something else that's pretty annoying for EG to deal with.
What's a range rax?
Jeez. It's pretty big. Zapping them away. But the melee racks will stay alive.
Yeah, and it has 5 health regen, so it could just heal back to full, but the key is that you force them all to TP base, and now you're just heading straight into Roche while they're visible. And they have to shove out mid. Kyle has no AA ult though, and he's a bar.
So the first...
Not to be...
They're doing Roshan, but yeah, it's not... Again, it's just way too scary. Like you said, no Ice Blast on Kyle.
Is this the first game where we've had no Roche at this point?
Oh yeah,
37 minutes.
This is definitely the... It's not... I almost said slowest game. No, it's not the slowest. We have a lot of kills this game.
It's not even the slowest game, it's just the longest game.
It's the most even at this point, that's for sure. Yeah, it's not the longest, but it's been very back and forth. These first 3 games, one team kind of takes a lead and then just really works off of it, so... This is definitely anyone's game. EG up 2-1, remember. Chessie, they find Misery. How are they going to go? And how are they going to go? Zephyr goes in, Glimmer Cape pop. When they have the gem, though, Chessie going to be stunned, but feels like, do I really want to go on to that? Misery keeping himself alive with the Nightmare there. Comes a Sap, though. Fear trying to run the other direction. Chessie sitting on top there with BKB. Wreckham going out with the backline. Zephyr, he drops the Force Staff away. Gets the stun up. No Sandstorm, actually. He's still somehow alive so far. Bane till death way up here. Sven runs down Razor and is just doing enough damage to get that kill. Razor buys back, though. They're going for Io. He has a relocate. Not going to come into play here, though. Limp is absolutely dominating. Just running after everyone with that Butterfly. So they kill Razor, but they lose 3 in the process, including the Shadow Feed.
Now,
that was 2 different fights. I mean, Sven was running after Razor that whole time, and then everyone else was fighting.
It's going to be real hard, even if you buy back, to fight without a BKB if you're a TZ.
Yeah.
It's on cooldown for 30 seconds. Fierce is up in 27. Sumail just has to do his thing and try and stop this. I mean, there's no point in buying back without a BKB. I mean, they know.
And
I think they're just going to go straight to Roche. That's what I would do. There's no Wisp, and you know that they don't have BKBs. You could easily just go straight Roche. Appears as though they'd rather do the opposite.
Well, not really the opposite, but stick around, I guess. So kind of, they're thinking about it.
Yeah, they are thinking about it. Z-Freak wants to rush.
He's like, guys, over here. Come on. Let's go. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. They're going to smoke up instead. They're kind of grouped up as if they are, but they'll smoke, I don't think, so... They're just waiting.
Anticipating a
big
smoke,
here we go. They were. RTG jumps in. He does have a BKB there on the backlines. They caught Sand King, so no stun from him. He gets killed pretty quickly. That was a feed script, though. He buys back, by the way. Chessie, once again, stabbing some damage. Actually, no, he's not just in. He still has a static link. Fear is trying to run away. Sumail's going to end up going down to Razor, though. RTG's picked up the rest of it. No buyback. As mentioned, for 90 seconds. Crit's going to be run down now. And Fear, again, I got to say, he just simply doesn't feel like he can do anything in these fights. He's either just trying to deal with Razor the whole time or just fleeing for his own life. And that's now Rack's middle.
I said earlier there was going to be a point where Fear would start contributing, and it just hasn't happened.
GG. We're going
Too
game
hard
5.
Sven versus Razor. I mean, Chessie's done a fantastic job static linking, BK being before Denny's stun.
Radiant victory.
I think Blank was the key for him to go
Yeah,
back to that. It's
100%.
such a unique
That's the
dynamite.
second time this week that I've seen that in particular, and I just think it was correct game. It was just great. That's the kind of stuff that makes me love Dota.
Absolutely. And again, as expected, going into this series, we knew we were going to get a good one. And we're not only getting entertainment at its finest, but we have a Game 5 to decide it all. The final game of the series to see who goes to the Epicenter major event out of North America, either Complexity or Evil Geniuses. We got one more game to find out next here. So, Henry, ready? Game 5?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too. I'm pretty excited. Hopefully you guys tuning in are excited as well. I'm sure you are. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Henry. Our Game 5 going to be coming up next after the short break.
We have some breaking news. The police has finally managed to capture a dangerous fugitive.
Dead bomb, son! Nothing else in the world smells like that!
Anticyclone has brought major in Russia, causing a lot of sun and high temperature. We advise you to stay hydrated, stock up on popcorn, and visit highly iced areas like VTB Ice Palace. The Epicenter XL lads have announced the details about the last event slot. Here's a quick and simple summary we have created to figure it out. Let's take a look at the report. This qualification has no limits. Any team can participate from any region, even from the moon. All games European server. All games best of 1.
Even the final?
All of them. The winner gets the final slot.
This is madness!
No, this is Epicenter!
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Qatar Airways, we aim to offer you gentlemen service and hospitality as time travel with us. We would like to know how long we achieve this today and to welcome you to
We are in Algarve for the first physical meeting of the member of the team concerning our initial coin offer of Flash Money, and this is the very first time for some member of the team. It's the very first time that I met physically, so that was very important for us to gather all those energy, all those people involved in Flash Money. Flash Money is financial services using the blockchain technology in order to bring financial services to unbanked, underbanked, and even banked people.
Bitcoin would be a nice alternative investment.
A lot of other
seconds remaining. Radiant team back. EG's turn to battle. Radiant team back.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, game number 5. Complexity versus Evil Geniuses. This is it. The winner goes to Epicenter. The winner goes to compete for that $1 million prize pool. The winner gets to compete for Dota 2 Pro Circuit points.
10 seconds.
The losing team, unfortunately, the ride ends here. Almost. To be fair, there is still the Madness qualifiers, which we've been, the commercial's been playing for. So there's technically still that, but boy, do you not want to have to lean on that for qualifying for this event. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Henry once again. Hell of a series. What a way to end it with a game number 5 here.
Does EG ban Rubik here? That is my question for you, Breaky.
I'm going to say no.
There's still Enchantress as well, and Omni. But I'm spooked by that Z-Freak Rubik. I mean, it's something crazy. I think they've won
5 seconds
I don't know,
remaining.
a lot with Rubik. I don't know. I don't have any real metrics for you. But
Radiant
there you go.
Well, it just had to be
They could grab an Enchantress. It's been banned virtually every single game, but we've seen a lot of deviation for EG, whereas Complexity stayed pretty consistent. I will say, I wonder what happened to Naga. It's essentially a dead hero.
That's a good point. Wow.
So popular.
I mean, this is just one series, to be fair, but
I haven't seen it the last several series I've watched.
EG's turn to pick.
AA again. I wonder if they believe that AA is really that good against Omni, and maybe they don't want to pigeonhole themselves with a Razor. I'm not 100% sold on why they like it, but it's been working really well.
Yeah,
10 seconds
that's
remaining.
the thing, right? It's if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality.
5
I'm trying to double check
remaining.
right here. Yeah, to be fair, they're 2-0 with Ancient Apparition in this series. Both their wins, they actually ran AAs, and their losses, they did not. So they got that going for them, which kind of makes sense as well. Whether it's the idea of the counter, the synergy with some heroes they'd like to pick up, or just Kyle likes playing. I mean, he does a good job with those Ice Blasts from across the map. We see it coming through constantly. That synergy of his brother, you know, in that case, last game with the Sand King, it was good to watch. So,
do you think EG might steal the Sand King this game, so they can't do that again?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes this time because I said no last time and I was wrong. But
I think that's certainly plausible. There's also Disruptor in the pool, which I think is fairly decent against AA, especially in the mid game when he's not ready to just AFK on one side of the map and all from afar. And they're going with the Bane again for Misery.
Yeah, they like Bane.
Gyro. I assume that Gyro is just because the AA Gyro is actually really scary with the flat cannon and the chilling touch. And generally just, at this point, if you're not versed phasing Gyro, it's just going to get banned.
10 seconds remaining.
So now is the Sand King maybe value here for Complexity?
5 seconds remaining.
That's what I'm feeling. I mean, they could easily just go something else. I mean, I think Terrorblade will be banned if they don't pick it now, but I'd rather they stay away from it. I mean, the earlier Terrorblade was bad, but they've had so much success with stuff that fights more frequently, more early. And Terrorblade seems to be a hero that I think EG is definitely running far better at this point in time.
Enchantress is still there, so go
yeah,
back to that.
I really do think it's been banned so frequently that I forget what supports Kyle plays when Z-Freak plays the Enchantress. I've been trying to remember, but I'm not 100% sold on Enchantress AA as a support duo. But if they can make it work, then it could be really good. I do believe Chaos Knight. I mean, I know Gyro is really strong, but I know they used to run Chaos Knight with the AA fairly frequently.
Oh, yeah. Chesty's played a lot of
There's the
CK.
Sand King.
I'll say, you know that nerves are also kicking in. I mean, these two teams, players, very experienced across the board, but yeah, this is a big event. Not only is it because it's a major, Epicenter in general has had a great history, very prestigious, and you notice how much time both teams took right there. When the first 4 games, we flew through the first 2 picks.
100%. I'll say this. No, I don't care what anyone says. No matter how many hundreds of games you play, if you're in a best of 5 and it's the last game,
you're
thinking.
10
you're
seconds
thinking.
remaining.
Sometimes too much.
I believe that Razor
5
ban is to
seconds
provoke
remaining.
an Omni-Knight ban. I think, and I don't know if I have a good read on Misery as a captain, but I do
EG's
believe
turn
he
to
tries
ban.
to do this, where he tries to essentially delete 2 bans from a phase by banning 1 hero. We saw it with the Batrider Tinker before.
Okay.
And trying to provoke another ban in order to just free up more opportunities for himself in the next phase, because they're going to have the pick out of this banning phase for
10
whatever they
seconds
want.
remaining.
No RTZ Medusa, that would be quite the hero to get in a
5
game
seconds
5 of
remaining.
best of 5.
Yeah.
So pretty glad they banned that. I don't know what their win rate with that is, but it's got to be pretty high.
Radiant
Yeah, Medusa
team
in general
ban.
has kind of fallen off a little bit, but by all means, with Arteezy playing it, good stuff. You got a Pugna ban from EG.
I've been saying OD for almost the whole series,
turn to
and this is the
pick.
first game where Pugna's banned. I know they could still like last pick Sniper, but I do think OD's fairly strong when they pick AA Sand King. If you can just get maybe 4-step BKB or something like that.
Visage taken away from
10
Complexity.
seconds
So
remaining.
yeah, they felt something like that could have been coming as well. And again, the
5
idea of
seconds remaining.
just don't want to give them what's been a very comfortable hero for them lately.
Radiant team pick.
Earth Spirit.
Crit Earth Spirit.
That's a comfortable hero.
Yes, and in a game 5, that's what you want, so definitely excited for that. We talked earlier about Visage with Bane, so that combined with Fuse, just
10 seconds
great results
remaining.
with Visage, and they can even flex it onto RTZ if they want.
5 seconds remaining.
It's just really a necessary Bane. I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like your mid heroes are kind
Turn
of
to pick.
yeah. That's pretty much the only mid hero you really want to pick into Bane or Spirit that can actually survive rotations long enough to, or ganks long enough to have a rotation and turn it.
Yeah.
Anything else would be far too fragile.
Maybe a little more
10
effective at dealing with an
seconds
enfeeble spam as well.
Yeah.
Can just spam the Crypt Swarm in
5
response.
seconds remaining.
4th pick for EG. Do they get a mid response now for the Death Prophet, or do they instead go maybe the offlane here? For
They
Sumail.
do have last pick. I think you do have more to deal with Tinker this time. I mean, you have the Blink Sand King, and we saw, I don't remember what series it was, but there was a Hood or a Pipe Sand King that really, I think it was in the games on EU. I think it might have been TFT where they had the Hood or Pipe Sand King that really was just crushing a Tinker over and over again because he was just walking through the march and initiating.
Yes, I do remember that, yeah.
Radiant team pick.
Sumail Enigma. Wow.
That is a little different, and I like it. But how good is it here? That's the real question.
I think that it's really, really good for fighting, and I think it's one of those heroes that can actually deal with the support duo you have on here. I mean, it's really hard to gank into an Enigma with a ton of Eidolons if you're not actually caustic and stunning the Eidolons. As far as, I mean, you can't cancel the Enigma ult. It's really good control for Gyro and Earth Spirit particularly. It's probably going to be a Helm of the Dominator, I would imagine, unless he goes Guardian Greaves for the silence. It's one of those heroes that I don't have a real big number on yet. Wow. New hero breaking.
That's a response, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. And they didn't even, that was like 15 seconds, I think, or less. They didn't, like, spend a minute of reserve time thinking. They really thought Silencer was the hero.
10 seconds remaining.
Do you think that's a core Silencer, Reiki?
5 seconds remaining.
I think it could be.
Kyle,
I really think it could be.
Kyle plays a bit of support side. I know I've seen that quite a bit. And you could
definitely does, but
AA.
Is your support duo going to be AA Silencer?
Yeah, that's true.
Radiant team
Maybe it is.
I think that's a core Silencer, and there's the Batrider ban, so you have to ban Tinker here, and then they're going to get the free counter pick on the last mid. On the mid, rather. Either ban Storm or Tinker, because that's the provocation for that Batrider.
10 seconds
I
remaining.
guess Silencer's not really a concern for Tinker.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
wouldn't consider him a major concern, honestly. Just because, sure, once every, 3 minutes he can be an annoyance, but
yeah,
Tinker's doing stuff every 5 seconds, so.
This is yet again another somewhat unique-ish of a draft here. Game 5 to decide it all. The Enigma
Punk is
and the
also
Silencer.
still in the pool. I can't imagine that you ban back. I mean, there's also Terrorblade's made it through. They may want to just ban Terrorblade. Well, there's a lot of heroes that they would have to ban. I actually changed my mind. I would rather they ban Terrorblade here.
Radiant team pick.
They ban Venomancer.
Not one you're suggesting.
What?
Huh.
I mean, a Venomancer with a Helm of Dominator Enigma and training them would be pretty scary, but
yeah,
almost feels like a
10
throwaway
seconds
ban.
remaining.
Does that mean that they're gonna pick up? Like they wouldn't do Tinker, but they could do like a
5
Terrorblade
seconds
themselves.
They
That'd be
easily
good.
could pick Terrorblade here. I wouldn't even mind it. They do have Gyro, who's fairly good against it. Other than that, I'm perfectly fine with them picking Terrorblade.
EG's turn to pick.
It's gonna be a void.
Well, well, well. This draft has just really had an interesting finish. Faceless Void. Again, we don't. Is that going to be an off lane? Is it a move Void with a safe lane Silencer, mid Death Prophet? What's going on here? Is it double support Silencer, Ancient Apparition? This
10
is.
seconds
I think it's
remaining.
more about the lanes. I think it'll.
5 seconds remaining.
I think it'll be definitely. I have no idea, Berkey.
Definitely, we have no clue.
I really don't know. I want to say I think it's definitely a Limp Death Prophet. I think I can be sold on that, and a
Yes.
Kyle Ancient Apparition.
And
then
I don't know.
It can't be a core Ancient Apparition.
No,
I
not that. No. I'm thinking it's support Silencer AA, honestly. With an off-lane move, Sand King, you got Faceless Void safe lane, mid-Death Prophet. Like, that is a weaker supporting cast. They lack stuns, kinda. I mean, the Chronosphere makes up for it in some lucky bash procs, but...
I could see that. Especially with the Void finish, I could see that. I mean, I could also see easily a AA Sand King, which I think is very powerful. They just ran the AA Sand King, and it was very, very powerful.
Clinks.
There's Clinks to follow up.
Your heroes.
What a finish. All right, here we go.
I assume that's going to be an Orchid build, which I think will be really powerful, especially against Void on the Clinks. I think I've seen Fear do that recently. And gives them someone to really crush buildings instead of really fast tempo for this game. I actually really like the Clinks pick a lot. And also, if that is a Sand King or a Void offlane, it's a Z-Freak Silencer. You were right. Interesting.
So I was thinking last minute, like, I mean, to be fair, having somebody that can put in right clicks into that Chronosphere would be really nice. I mean... So maybe that could have meant a core Silencer, but they do decide to go support. Ideally, he'll still get some okay farm, but yeah, not as much.
Can I just say that Earth Spirit skin is crazy?
He's pretty decked out. Yeah, he's played this hero once or twice before.
Yeah.
So Fear on the Clinks is how it finishes as well. You mentioned with the Orchid Carrier, of course, great against Faceless, etc. He's got some squishy targets to find and pick off in
Definitely. I mean, he really will shred through a Silencer and a even if Global is used to stop these searing arrows, he still will shred into a Silencer for the most part. Very curious to see how both teams lane this. I mean, they have a lot of different choices. Looks like Arteezy's going the safe lane. They're going to run Fear mid with the Clinks. Against the, what I assume will be a Death Prophet, but I'm not 100% sure.
Good luck, have funds go out. Kinda.
Kinda, with the you already know.
Here we go. Chance to go to Moscow. Playing the Epicenter event. All 5 of Complexity are smoked up here. Level 1 Roshan, here we go.
I wish.
This would be an awful lineup for that. They're going top, but you see Gyrocopter, he's just in the trees. He's not even giving them a chance. I feel like Misery, again, drew this out in one of the previous games, so Complexity kind of known for doing this. And EG's very safe.
Probably.
That's a very aggressive ward, though, top lane. Are they going to go for a first blood early on?
I think they're just aggressively laning, period. I think that's how they're laning.
Okay.
They're going to have move versus the Enigma. So that's why they hit that. I mean, they may try and catch Arteezy here, but that's more what that ward is for, not just the kill.
Arteezy getting a little greedy. Chilling touch apply. That's a lot of damage to come. He gets time walk, by the way, level. Look at that damage. And that is first blood. I've said it so much that chilling touch level 1. It's just a crazy. It's 30 damage for each attack on each hero.
It's crazy. I mean, I know about the damage, but every time I see that slow, for some reason,
that too, yeah.
It feels like it's more than it should be. But wow.
Middle lane.
Good for Spud.
Bane is waiting for that courier. See if it comes out soon. May try to set up a first blood, or not first blood, but their response more so on Limp. But he backs off, and Bane can only be so patient. He has to run away. Speaking of patience, where's Z-Freak doing? He's doing the same thing, really. He's waiting for a courier, which is starting to come now. So we'll see if he's patient enough to sit by and look to snipe out that courier. Bottom lane, though, it's a Sand King versus Enigma. This feels pretty good for Sand King.
Yeah, I mean, with the Caustic and the stun, just killing all Eidolons very fast. He can even, if he sets it up correctly, get a kill on Sumail with multiple Caustic procs.
Yeah.
Although Sumail will probably have a great read on that.
Courier middle lane.
It still is a lot of farm for him.
Z-Freak, he saw it go the other way. He was backing up at the last second. Can he get the last hit? Yes, he can.
Dyer's
That was a dead courier. Smoke was even on that, but that's a lot of gold in Flex for Complexity. So the patience pays off. And that bottom lane, yeah, he is diving in pretty heavily, isn't he? He's all the way past the tower, taking out the Eidolons. That's his full priority. Move's feeling good. Top lane, though. First put out. And we got a try versus dual lane up here of sorts. So Earth Spirit's not really sure where to go. Where should Earth Spirit be? You think, does he need to respond to this tri lane top, or should he camp mid?
Yeah, I think he should. It's just really hard because both these supports have boots, and Earth Spirit does not yet, and he has no courier. And then you have a Void who will just time walk the initiation off. You don't have any control top yet until Arteezy has like 2, maybe 3 points of missile. I guess he just leans mid. I think it's just one of those games where he's not going to find many opportunities for the first couple of minutes. He just has to wait and do his best to pressure outside of killing. I imagine he'll roll in on Limp, which I'd certainly like him to see, but I doubt he'll kill him.
I'm sure Sumail will call for some help bottom lane, because again, this has been annoying to deal with, and so Bane does come in middle lane, by the way. Limp's in trouble. The siphon's up, though. It'll be fine. And yeah, very far just in case. Bottom lane move. Pearl Strike in 2 seconds. The Nightmare trying to set this up. They're going to try to set up for a Pearl Strike and respond to it. He gets in the trees. Oh, he eats a tree. He's trying to get in there. Chop his way through. Pops a salve. Moo's going to survive it looks like. Yeah, he's good. So Bane at least gets a Brain Sap out for the last second, but Sand King staying alive. And Jarl's trying to farm the jungle, but look at these supports. AA and Silence, they're just running at him. Not letting him farm the jungle even. So Complexity is definitely having a great laning phase. I mean, Enigma, to be fair, is 13 and 10. He's actually doing decent down here.
Yeah, he's actually winning bottom.
Yeah.
It's and like an optical illusion essentially. Moo has more CS than him, but it's Eidolons and not creeps. When Sumail's 10 denies, he's a massive experience advantage.
True. Faceless Void is also having a very good time.
Which is honestly bizarre for me. I feel like Sand King should be doing better.
Middle, they're setting up on a DP. Here comes Z-Freak, puts the curse up. Not much more he can do, though. Very far used. Oh, Limp going for the turn kill. Crit gets turn kill. The power of the suck of the siphon and Misery. He is dead to the curse. No, 7 life. Attack, he got it! Oh, the invis not kicking in. Well played comes out.
He ate the tree and pathed in there so that he had an angle that was closer than if he did normal pathing.
Very close. But yeah, that's just what Death Prophet does. He lives. That's one thing he's good at doing.
Yep. That's why that was basically the only mid-hero that could pick into that Earth Spirit, and it was an excellent pick.
Top lane. Nice job responding right here. Faceless Void. He just used his time walk. Dude, he's dead. Great response from EG. Perfect timing to get in there with the Nightmare sets up for crit, and they turn out. I thought actually Gyrocopter was the one that's possibly going to be falling, but that's a supporting cast coming in. saving the day. So unlike the other side, they do got some hard lockdown from Evil Genius supports. What do we think Faceless Void's going for? Again, he did die right there, but overall he's still farming very well.
I believe he will still go Battle Fury.
Is it Battle
Fury?
Fury?
That's what I believe.
No Mask of Madness around here.
It's okay. I don't really like that the silencing yourself against all of these heroes. I feel like having the leap is super useful. And it's a great insurance policy, this game, because this game could go the distance easily with these kind of heroes.
Radiant are scanning.
And I feel like he can be useful with a farming item while also being able to fight, which is a symptom of what you see of a lot of these carries these days.
Yeah.
Particularly Lycan, Gyro, their methodology for killing heroes is also their form of fighting, whether it's a Necronomicon or Flak Cannon or the spells.
Misery, he's taking the creep wave. I don't think that he expected that. And actually, they're going to go on Arteezy. They don't even care about Misery back there. They want the kill on the core, and they're going to get it. Crit throws in the Boulder Smash. It's a little bit too late, though. And Misery now, he's still in kind of a bad spot. Does have a TP, though.
That looks really awkward. I don't really know if they know he's still here, but that was a really good kill for them.
Gets a deep ward, at least. But yeah, that's not the overall plan what EG expected. Also, by the way, there's a great scan from Complexity right here in this area that spotted Crit just kind of chilling there. So they were thinking about maybe making a play on Clinks, but they chose not to. So it's a good job paying attention. Speaking
One thing
of
I wanted to
Clinks,
point out was Z-Freak going Helm of the Dominator. He's going to become like a carry. He's farming bottom right now.
Okay. He almost has it, you're right. Wow. Bottom, Kyle. Oop, he avoids the roll. Great juke by him, honestly. It's just not going to matter in the end, though. Simel gets the
Spent all of his unreliable gold, though. It's a nice benefit. Silver lining.
Yeah. But you're right, Z-Freak, he only needs his Ring of Health and
top tower
has a full Helm of the Dominator with boots. So, yeah, and if he's able to get some damage as well, again, to assist into those Chronospheres, that's pretty big.
They have Chrono.
They do. They're
It's a
coming
void
in.
TP with Chrono.
That's a Chrono right on top of Enigma and Bane. At least Bane's going to die right here. Enigma, though, he's still well alive. Z-Freak Queen ran down meanwhile. Malphus down on him, so he may go down. There's a black hole for this Samil. He's like, you're coming with me. However, it's going to be stopped eventually from the Cold Fiend. Now Samil's in plenty of trouble. Moon trying to get over here to get through the trees. Eventually has that Burrow Strike, though, as down goes Enigma and Crit. No chance of a getaway, so the big picture, Complexity, no doubt happy with that.
I have seen the future. You're not in it.
That was a really, really good fight. And the black hole's on cooldown, and now Void has the safe lane to just free farm.
Yeah.
And I feel uncomfortable if I'm Enigma to come back down here and just farm and get like rotated on from a Sand King or AA. We'll see where he goes, but that was really good. Yep, he's going jungle. Lo and behold.
Fear just uses Death Pact. He's going to be hunting top lane, trying to catch Z-Freak. As that was a kill. Middle lane, I'm guessing. We're looking at this top lane now, Z-Freak. Yeah, they're going to eventually open up. Yeah, that's just way too quick of damage. So, Fear, we're at a point now with this Clinks is, yeah, he's been farming middle lane very well, but now he's going to start hunting for kills. And that's something Complexity, of course, has to respect. But meanwhile, they're going to push middle tower. No Exorcism just yet for Death Prophet, by the way.
Yeah, typically we're seeing, I mean, it's surprising how much building damage he's accomplishing, but typically we're seeing the max Siphon and Nuke build just for superior laning. And then you hit that level 9 around 10 minutes roughly, he's going to get it slightly before, and push Exorcism with Catapult. But he's not even going to need to do that because of what was happening with his lane essentially getting abandoned and Misery being left to try to defend on his own.
He's trying. Good word for it. Deny? No, it's not worth it. In fact, they're going to siphon him away and doesn't have a Nightmare just yet. They do get the tower kill, though, and that's what they really wanted.
I think of most Death Prophet players that I've watched, Limp is definitely the most to freely use his Siphon and not hold charges and just drop himself down to 1 or 2 charges if he feels like he can pressure enough.
Yeah. Chronosphere bottom lane, it's ready. If he gets a TP, maybe. Say from Sand King. Yep.
Perfect timing.
There we go, right on cue. Here's the Epicenter. Burrow Strike right after that. Timing was just, yeah, could not have been any better. Very efficient play from Complexity. And now Limp, he gets Boulder Smashed away initially, so that's awkward. over the ledge. Good get away from crit, but that's Enigma, who was the top farmer in the game just before that. It's taken out. Oh, Ancient Apparition destroys the double damage rune in front of Clinks. Now, Clinks is probably going to kill him still. But, oh, let's get the shrine on. No shrine.
He had a fair fight, but it still wouldn't have saved him. No. His attacks just hit for so much when you're medallion.
Yeah.
It's practically 200 damage.
Does he go full Solar Crest, or is he going to go to Orchid next, you think?
I assume you stick with just medallion. I would assume Orchid is the build in my mind against... I know Death Prophet will probably get a Yules, but I still think you would go Orchid due to the Void particularly.
Yeah.
Who is going the battle through, by the way.
Radiant's middle tower
Is he?
is
Sure
under
is.
attack.
Ring of Health on him. And you were right with the Home of the Dominator on Sumail, and that's kind of interesting because Jonas a fan actually for TF2. We've been casting them a bit recently in the European region, and he occasionally plays the Enigma on like a lot of teams, frankly, but does still go the Hannah Midas ASAP.
Huh.
But in this case, Sumail going.
May just be a stylistic thing or an NA versus EU thing.
Yeah. Let's start that discussion, Henry. Let's have a talk about NA versus. No, let's not do that. No, good push though.
What discussion is there?
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, he's making use of that though. He takes over the siege creep, and this is what we see. Push bottom. He has a black hole though. This top lane. This could get interesting. This could get a little spicy. Fear.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's it. Move bottom lane. We'll stun out on Enigma. Just gonna use a sandstorm and clear out the Eidolons. And actually, the Arcane's Curse summon out, so they're going to run down Sumail. Again, he has that black hole. Back up here, Fear is checking out some more farming in the area. So Sumail's fine.
He's really tanky.
Oh my god. Wow, I went away for a second. Yeah. All of a sudden I look back and Fear's just nuking down Death Prophet.
Radiant's top tower is
We're going to catch Faceless Void as well. He has a Chronosphere. Global Science coming out. It might be not 100% necessary, but just in case.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, I would rather you hold the global for maybe 5-10 seconds, and well, not 5-10 seconds, like 2-3 seconds, and then wait to some maybe lower, and then use it if it's necessary. Then knee jerk it.
Enigma, man, he is. Gotta say, it seems like he's outplaying them here down the bottom.
He feels like a Lycan, honestly. Yeah. He has 15 health regen with this build, and 1,000 HP, and a 16 charge wand. He is effectively like 1,300 HP, and then if it takes 10 seconds to kill him, that's another 1,400 HP or 140 HP. So it's like you're killing a 1,500 HP hero. It's really raw.
Yeah. Boo, he's in the sandstorm, seeing Misery nearby.
Radiant's bottom tower
to avoid getting jumped on there as Ice Blast flying out. But Sumail, he already backed off, so he's good. But you're right, he's very similar to Lycan right now, just pushing with those Eidolons and keeping Complexity busy.
I actually love that he's going. I assume that'll be a hood, and maybe he'll divert it into a different item, but at least a hood to start. And I really like it. Even a pipe just seems so useful against Sand King and AA.
Bottom lane, EG. 3 heroes are here. There we go, roll in. They catch Sand King. Silence nearby, doesn't have the global silence just yet. Boulder Smash going through. Sand King stuns in though. The Chronosphere, no, he gets stuck with the black hole though. Sumail gets all 3. Another TP from left to silence finally coming out. There's a Chronosphere in response, as well as the Ice Blast. That's gonna connect big time. Sumail's in trouble, so is Crit. They both go down. The lack of follow-up damage, you're right, wasn't there as godlike as that black hole was. The damage from a Bane and Earth Spirit just enough. The Fiend's Grip not enough to kill Moo. Going for the turn kill.
Those plays without gyro or clinks.
Yep. That did backfire.
One thing I wanted to say, it actually worked out for Complexity so well, but Z-Freak, I assume it was a misclick used to silence the last word on the Earth Spirit instead of the Enigma, and then he just got the ult off, but said no damage, so Enigma ended up wasting the ult.
The response to Complexity, Exorcism, on cooldown now. You see Call Down coming out from RTC. This obviously has been a recovery game for Gyrocopter here. Did not have a pretty start, but he's been spending a lot of time farming. Clinks has been mix of farming and looking for heroes, but right now middle lane, I don't know if he's opening on any of these. Be a little risky.
Yeah, he's getting really good information though.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to open actually. That's a bold decision, sir. That's a very bold decision.
Even if he kills Kyle there, he still dies. And he saw 3 or 4 heroes.
Yeah.
He got the information. I said he's gotten very good information, then he should have just left.
I mean,
best case scenario, you kill Kyle and die.
Yeah.
There's no situation there in which they just say, all right, let's let him live.
And there's no way that was like a misclick either. Like, he definitely was going, thinking that he could get the kill and get out. But yeah, bold play does not work out. And Complexity, they'll be like, all right, thank you very much. Sand King's now top lane with the blink. And protecting the Faceless Void, who almost has that Battle Fury. That's the thing with the Faceless Void as a core. Yes, Battle Fury, you want to farm that, and obviously that's just farming enhancement. But with these Chronospheres and even the Time Lock, he can deal some decent damage. What you want to do is Sand King. What you want to do is Sand King now is not show until you get a kill with a blink. You don't want to reveal that, and getting a kill right here with Chessie as the catapults pushing the tower will just give them a free tower. They may even go for a bigger play. As they call it out, we've seen RTZ use that very liberally. Just simply to push out lanes and again enhance his farm any way he can. Bane is nearby. But again, Clinks is hunting in that middle lane. He's going to try to take out the tier 1, and he's pretty good at that with that Searing Arrow Strafe combo. Top lane, they are going in. They're going to catch Bane at least.
First hit bash too, and he was...
Did he get it? Okay.
Barely clipped by the AO.
Well, Enigma pushes out bottom lane. I mean, I see this net worth as dominant as it feels like for Complexity. I mean, they're up 14-6. Net worth is still now back in head of EG. It's like very slight, but...
Yeah, the issue is it's very time-consuming, the kills they're getting. And meanwhile, EG is farming efficiently and then dying.
Yeah.
And you could make an argument that one may not be better than the other. It's almost even, in a sense.
Was intrigued to see what Z-Freak followed up with. He went the Helmet Dominant, and then he goes and Earn. Again, are we going to see like a right-click? Is this like a Hurricane Pike even? Or will they kind of just keep this trend of very support-heavy?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I would like to see a 4-stab. I think it's very good against these heroes, particularly Gyro and Earth Spirit. Being able to create distance between yourself and their slows and ults. That's what I'd go. 4-7 Hurricane Pike. I'm not 100% sure what he will go.
Yeah, I guess that is a happy medium, right? It is a nice mix of a support style, but also it gives him some right click into those Chronospheres.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
top lane.
Are fortified.
So very cooldown base. That's what you're kind of establishing earlier as well on the side of Complexity. Very ulti cooldown base. So right now everything's up, and if you're EG, you do not want to fight into them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As they're pushing bottom. And avoiding what they can.
Especially the most important cooldown is global, because it will stop the Bane, Fiend Scrape, the Enigma ult, it'll stop Searing Arrows. It's very, very powerful.
Nice blast coming through, but EG's already responded, falling back. Get a little bit of damage onto the tower, but outside of that, they're again keeping Complexity on their toes. They did get the tier 2 top.
Did go pipe on Enigma. I really, really like it.
Yep. So he is going blink. Again, the ultimate question now is like, does he still go BKB even though they have stopper, or is it just a?
I think no. He might. I would like to see maybe a Lotus Orb since they have 2 silences. I think it could be really useful.
Okay.
It will also remove Cold Feet. It'll flip Sand King stun. See a lot of good usefulness. It'll remove time dilation. It's kind of a dead item, honestly. I just don't ever see Lotus Orb anymore. I can't remember the last Lotus Orb. And I think the biggest thing is the build-up doesn't give you any stats, and stats are conducive for early and mid-game fighting, and that's all people are doing these days.
Yeah.
And I truly think that's why Lotus Orb is dead. Maybe they could redesign it, perhaps, with some stats. But I still think the item is amazing this game after the play.
Moo's going 4-staff himself. Faceless Void again. He's had the Battle Fury. We already see a Yasha appearing. Going to go into that Manta style. There was one. Oh yeah, Limp. He loves these blinks. We saw it Razor earlier in the series. Proved to be very worthwhile. He gets it on Death Prophet now.
Yeah.
Heals.
I think it's again. He wants to be able to jump the back line and stop what could be a catastrophic Fiend Scrape or Black Hole. But also, it allows him to actually get damage off without the siphons breaking, without getting kited, and it's like a damage efficiency item in that sense.
Very patient phase right now, both teams. I feel like more so EG, definitely avoiding a lot. That's understandable. As I say that, Complexity, they are smoked up and looking for a chance here. Arcane Rune will be picked up by Gyrocopter. He was seen picking that up, though. They find Sumail. They're going to be in Chronosphere. Will it be necessary? Cold Feet, it's going to proc. Here comes the call down, though. Silence is stunned on a Death Prophet in the back line, so they kill the Enigma.
They have Yules.
Gonna catch him here. Siphon was up. Kyle in pursuit. RTC does have a TP, a Blink, or a BKB TP, excuse me, if he needs it. Okay. He'll escape out.
I think you may have Yules too early. Your Death Puppet.
Oh, nice job by Z-Freak, but it's still not enough. He actually stuns the Fiend's Grip, but Fear was there with way too much right click.
Yeah. Is he going Orchid?
What is he going?
He's going Desolator. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. I meant to mention that. More sieging, more Roshan. This is going to be seen, though. Yeah, no way.
That's one thing about these Helm of the Dominators is they've made roaching actually a lot hard. And generally, I think they're pretty underrated for information outside of Roshan. In terms of just sending, you could just send a creep all over the map and just run it until it finds people. And there's very little harm other than a little bit of gold.
Arteezy's recovered quite a bit. He's up there now with the Death Prophet, top of his team, using that flat cannon, of course. Again, chose to get the BKB. Gonna go Butterfly next. Will Butterfly be very useful here, you feel, for him?
It helps with the Exorcism and the Faceless Void, the Silencer, right clicks. It's a pretty good item for when you are behind and you want to recover into a way that allows you to fight. So you recover into a BKB drums so you can fight but also keep farming, and then you have to kind of find your way back as a carry.
Yeah.
In terms of right click damage. I definitely like it. I can't think of any better item. I think it'd be a 35-minute SNY or something. 30-minute SNY is too late.
Okay.
Even a 25-minute SNY feels pretty rough.
Moo's going Crimson Guard. At least that's what he has queued up right now.
I really love it. Against, that just shows that he's willing to sacrifice what is a standard item build that will make his game better.
Top lane. Fiend's Grip, but the reaction is there. Moo was here. The Global Silence even. Alright, so Bane, if he actually escapes out of this too, that'd be ridiculous. So he's going to go down at least. As the heals will cancel, but that was quite a bit used by Complexity.
You have to wonder what their communications are like, Breaky. Do you, like, if they're screaming or panicking on the mic, because that was a mega unnecessary.
Global, yeah. And now Silencer, oh, but they're diving deep for this, and now Clinks, he's the one that has to be a little bit careful. He is dusted up here. Here comes the limp on Death Prophet. The AA Blast does connect through Clinks as well, so he's going to die. And just when you think EG's like, okay, at least we have a chance to pick off these guys over here, it's not the case. Moo, once again, they're ready. Save the day. Bottom being pushed in, but
a free uncontested Roche.
Yeah, use the rest of that Exorcism. Yeah, exactly. There's a little bit of panic there, but hey, it worked out in the long run for Complexity. They have a Manta style almost finished now in Faceless Void. Just needing the recipe there. Smoke play from EG. Again, now they know, well, Global Silence and Exorcism are down, but you still have an Epicenter Chronosphere, so it's still, you can't necessarily still feel very confident for EG. Picking a fight. Oh, Arcane Rune on Enigma, though. That could be big. They silence, they caught Faceless. Ice Blast coming up, and Chronosphere in time. He's going to be stunned up. No Chronosphere. And there's the Aegis. Here comes the response, though.
Out of this.
BKB, Pop RTZ crit. He's going to find Moo. He stops Moo from blinking in. Jesse, he'll time walk away, but now Moo's in a bad spot. Burrow Strike, maybe? No, the lockdown from crit is way too much. Well played with the silent stun. They keep him from doing anything. And they want more. Sumail, he still has his black hole. Can he find the silencer? He's going to get the stun off at least. Z-Freak. No force staff to get him away. They're just going to run him down. And that's a second kill. So EG finding a couple of kills.
They don't have creeps though to take this tower. If you look mid, the creeps are nowhere near them. And there's a wave there. So that's unfortunate, but that was still really good for EG in general.
Mm-hmm.
That was a 15k gold swing, or 1500 gold swing.
Yeah, if Crit doesn't hunt him, you could tell he was hunting for the Sand King. He found him, and if he doesn't find him there, you kind of wonder what happens, because then he gets off a big initiation, and then who knows how that plays out. But not the case. As Death Prophet, by the way. Okay, so he's sitting on a casual plate mill, and now he's going to an Octarine Core. So he was thinking about Shivas possibly, but switching his mind on the DP.
Interesting. I really like Shivas because, well, they do deal a decent amount of physical damage to Clinks, but maybe he just thinks this Ice Armor creep plus his natural tankiness, I don't know, will keep him alive.
Yeah.
And perhaps Octarine Core will help with the uptimes that'll allow him to be able to fight more.
Yeah.
And be more useful to fight.
They catch Fear as well. The dust comes out. They knew that he was in the area. They're going to get him killed. Kofi procs this. Crit manages to TP out, but again, you can tell Complexity, they wanted the important kill. And
yeah, it's a really good kill. And
Chesty's
got his Manta headed straight into the Defusal. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. But I think you're right, though. I think you're onto something. That's it's definitely a team decision of we're reliant on these big cooldowns. 25% cooldown reduction sounds nice. Sand King? Is this going to be a black hole use? Midnight Pulse? No, that would have been risky. And now Samel, you can tell they were second guessing themselves. And all of a sudden the responses here, used up by Chronosphere. Okay, well, he's going to kill Bane.
Chronosphere Misery, wow.
Alright, that's one hero. That's a support. Yes, you got him. Good job.
I'm not even sure Misery's worth that.
No, it's not. I'm going to go ahead and say it's not. I mean, he even had a double damage. Is Misery really even getting away at that point? So, I don't know if he thought somebody else was there or what. That seemed a little iffy. But you know what? They got a kill. There's a positive. They did lose Silencer bottom lane during that, though.
Arteezy's finishing the butterfly.
Yeah, he's been avoiding fights.
Yeah, it's going to give him more damage, make him tankier, higher armor, evasion. I mean, it's definitely a great item. I just don't consider it a difference maker in terms of him being able to show up the fight and start sliding people. I think it's still the same principle, which is avoid fighting, farm, and take fights when the ultimates are on cooldown.
Clinks, he had a great laning phase, and again, it was hunting for kills, but Clinks feels like Complexity has responded it pretty nicely. He's made some interesting decisions, we'll put it that way. And finding himself.
Octarine Core for Sumail.
Wait, oh really? Oh.
Yeah.
Enigma's going for it, you're right. So we're going to see 2 in this game all of a sudden. Death Prophet 1 on Enigma. He hasn't really been using his black hole yet, though, either. So that to me feels a little more iffy, right? Where, I mean, it does help everything else, so to be fair. So maybe it's more just the all-around.
Yeah, I think it's that, and it's a lot of HP, which is good. And I think the biggest thing is being able to actually play within the timings of the other ultimates in the game.
Yeah.
Within Global, within Epicenter, and within Void All and Exorcism.
So Complexity, again, no Aegis on them. Shadowblade, though, on Faceless Void. And he's hunting for somebody. Chronosphere is
It's really, really good at catching people like Fear out of position, particularly Invis heroes or split pushers. And he's kind of both. So I really approve of it. There's no Silver Edge here or anything. That's just more for getting an ideal Chrono off and having some damage and attack speed in the meantime.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
EG, though, again, continuing to be the game of very spread out. They understand that when it comes to team fight, Complexity having the advantage with the lineup, so
Radiant's bottom
they're going to split push. You see the bottom lane, the army's in here, the Eidolon, the Helm of the Dominator, and that means Limp is going to have to come back. Tier 3 is dropping, but he is going to manage to barely keep it alive, it looks like. Very low. The top lane, they catch Arteezy. Ice Blast coming out, Chronosphere on top. Don't see Arteezy getting onto that one, so they not only protect bottom, but they do find a pick on Gyro. Is EG spreading out too much? We're seeing this constantly. Or 1 or 2 get picked, and sure that, I mean, they're getting damage on the tower. Maybe that's just the only way they feel like they can play is just by split push.
I think this is just the nature of Void. Someone's gonna die eventually to the Chrono, and if RTZ showing in lanes, that's gonna be him. If it's not him, then it's gonna be someone else who shows in lanes. That's just how Shadowblade Void works. I think it's more about what you do with this next 70 seconds for EG than anything else. It's pretty unavoidable to never die to a Shadowblade Void.
He's going BKB next. I wonder... I mean, he is a lot of their damage. I'm getting at, does he think about getting an Axe here? We're talking about all this cooldown reliancy with a 60-second Chronosphere. I mean, that would be nice, but is it worth 4,200 gold?
No, I think because I think they're going to try and flip the game in the sense that they want to do the opposite. Fight without the cooldowns, fight without the Chrono, get a BKB, and rely just on a Sand King Sun and AA follow-up and global, occasionally in spells like that, as opposed to only fight around the Chrono. And BKB is going to be super useful because I don't think he's too worried about Clinks. He can always just time walk Clinks' damage off of your DS 20 armor. It just means that with a BKB, his only real condition for dying is the Enigma ult. I did notice Misery just chilling in the trees for the most part bottom.
I'm waiting for Complexity to just like randomly stun there. Nope. He'll TP away. So he's fine. Yeah, Zeufreak. Haven't really paid too much attention to him this game, but he ended up going the full Spirit Vessel. So, you know, 4-staff even just yet, but we'll see if he gets there.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling he was going to go Spirit Vessel, but I'm not a huge fan. It makes him really tanky, which I suppose is probably what he's looking for.
Okay.
That build. The active is pretty strong on his own team. They have some high HP heroes, and it's percentage base of your HP. But as far as using it on the enemy team, I mean, they have lots of things to deal with it. It's still okay.
Faceless Void just gets his BKB. He's got a Manta, BKB, Shadowblade, Battlefield. That's a strong core
item. They need to smoke with that. It's a huge item timing. Yep, there's smoke.
Checking out Roshan with 1 Faceless Void.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let me see. He is up with the cheese ready to go. He's talking about that smoke. The only way not part of it is Enigma, right? Yeah, Enigma's bottom lane. Pushing out for EG. The Complexity, they're now smoked up themselves, so I think EG spots something, or they're waiting for somebody to maybe farm the top lane.
I will say, I'm not sure if it's telegraphed smokes or if EG's just very, very good at it, but they almost always know.
Yeah.
It seems like when Complexity's smoked, I mean, that's like the 4th or 5th one where they just won't let themselves die.
But you know what? Complexity's fine with this. They're just going to take Roshan.
Yep.
They weren't even really looking for a kill. They're just going to Roshan, and they find it, and that's now the Aegis and the cheese. Aegis to Chessie, cheese to Limp.
I think that's the best combo, or what have you, for Aegis and cheese or not. Perhaps when Refresher Shirt comes out, we'll see you on DP instead of Void. I'm not 100% sure.
Dire's middle tower.
Faceless Void, he is actually running after Misery. This time, no Chronosphere, though.
Dire's middle tower.
Maybe it would be a little overkill, so they're pushing in. There's a Limp just charging in, catches the Bane, so they are going to kill him, it looks like. And he doesn't have a buyback for 50 seconds. Craig coming in with a Boulder Smash. Are we going to see that Black Hole Sumail? Think about it. No, the Chronosphere comes out in response with the BKB. Down goes Crit after the side. RTZ doing his with the call down, but Sumail, he's dropping before he can even do a damn thing in this fight. He doesn't have a buyback either. Global Sign's going to be used. Moo will be picked up, and the gem drops, but now it's actually Clink's in a bit of trouble. Chessie walking it off, still has the Aegis, remember. He could time walk back in, find Fear. They find him, the Exorcism dealing plenty of damage. Fear said no buyback. And EG's falling to pieces right here. Only Gyrocopter up. Everyone else staying dead for the time being. Exorcism heals up Limp.
No more Exorcism, but Chessie's hitting so hard I don't think it matters. I think this is a Rax.
This is at least a Rax. I mean, no cores are up for 35 seconds.
They could just go top.
It's just Gyrocopter right now.
They may play it safe, it looks like. Bane's keeping bottom, wrapping around from behind at least.
Cut them off.
Gone.
Sand King, the only one dead. Oh, Misery tried. Chessie, though, he juked it out with a Shadow Blade, gets a bash proc. Not going to risk it, though. Complexity, they got plenty out of it. They are going to retreat, and they have their biggest lead right now of 7,000 net worth.
Radiant's top tower is
Yeah,
under attack.
EG. I mean, they Complexity just dove that, man. They were not afraid, but again, with their ultimates, it's understandable.
Yep. I'm very curious to see what kind of build Void goes next. I'd like to see something like a Mjolnir, but he's having real item slot trouble.
That's a good. He basically only has one left now to replace the Aegis.
He already backpacked Aquila. You could easily sell that. I mean, there's also Diffusal. There's Mjolnir. There's Nullifier.
EG loves this bottom lane. They're back here. They're going in. Crit. They're going to jump Silencer, actually. The Fiend's Grip locking down Sand King. That's a great target. He has a Crimson Guard, but the Chronosphere in the backlines will eventually stop it. Sand King's still alive, barely. Pops a Crimson Guard. Bane is going to be picked up. Arteezy just running up there with a flat cannon. Bane is going to die. Enigma again. He can't even get a block. He finally does it up in the last second, but he dies shortly after. And Clinks is done to deal with this Faceless Void, but again, he still has the Aegis. On top of all this, EG getting desperate, it feels like, and it is backfired big time. Crit's in trouble. He's going to run to the face. He goes down. Arteezy's dead. No buyback on anyone. Complexity is going to completely wipe out EG here at their base. No buybacks across the board. They could just push, and they know this. They're drawing in the base. This could be. I mean, this could be it.
Is there no buyback for anyone?
No. EG felt desperate right there to make a play.
They won that without Exorcism too.
And Global Silence and Epicenter. That was literally just a Chronosphere and maybe an Ice Blast.
They're gonna throw him. They're gonna win the game here.
Yeah, this is it. They're going to Moscow. Unless Bane can stop them by himself. They call the GG. Complexity. Epicenter is theirs for NA as they defeat Evil Geniuses 3-2. And no doubt they got to be excited. But yeah, I mean, sure, Complexity had a big fight in the base, and it's understandable that EG weren't happy with that. But to do what they did down there, I mean, they just dove it. They were really desperate. Again, wanted to fight them without the ultimates, but the Chronosphere was ready. And it backfired. They went for the big play.
The big play or the desperate play?
Desperate, yeah. Maybe that's more appropriate.
Wow. Congratulations to Complexity for qualifying to Epicenter Moscow.
Yeah, very well deserved. Knocking down Evil Geniuses initially 2-0 in the winter finals. They get the rematch and down 1-2. EG looking strong in the second and third games. Complexity fought back though, make it a fifth and final game. And definitely get an entertaining game number 5 as we all hoped for. Sending Complexity to Epicenter. So big congratulations to them once again. Ooh, Henry, I mean, is there like an MVP? Is there anyone else?
I gotta say that draft goes to Kyle. And honestly, he probably has like a 6 KDA or something on AA at this point.
It's pretty good.
He's barely dying on AA. So I'm gonna give Kyle the MVP for sure.
He was 3-0 on AA. Yeah, all 3 wins actually involved that hero.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's the draft and the AA are my MVPs.
Sumail, he saw the black hole at the very end too, but you could, I mean, we knew it. This was obviously a very difficult black hole game as well against this Radiant lineup, and just couldn't find the opportunity.
They silencer voided them.
Yeah, the silencer response was big.
They didn't play the game that they were playing the last 4 games. The style they were playing. They just said, "All right, you're going to go Enigma. We're just going to give you a rebuttal."
Ain't that the truth? You know what I'm going to do right here? Let me see if I can at least get on Mr. I'm seeing if I can get some kind of interview. You know, this is a big deal, right? This is a big tournament. Seeing if we can have somebody from Complexity come on. And that would be pretty cool. I think it'd be a fun way to finish it off. Get someone. All right, well, so we'll see. I might be able to get somebody. So he's telling me his headset broke and Limp's keyboard broke. I think they were excited.
I can imagine them just scream. Is that the biggest tournament they've qualified for since TI5? I mean, it's a major, but I think it's like a $1 million major, right? So I guess it's since Manila, actually.
It's a pretty I mean they've qualified for a fair amount this season, but that this has to be one of the bigger ones, no doubt, for sure.
I don't know. I don't have a.
Well,
I guess the Manila Major would be bigger than this.
They're going to Katowice next week, but they were an invite actually to that team or that event. No, they qualified. Never mind, they qualified.
They qualified, yeah.
So
man, that's 2 majors for Complexity. That's crazy.
Yeah, and this is the first one though that's as a result of knocking out EG, right? Because EG's been invited to all these other ones, and they haven't had to qualify for many. And the ones that they usually have just qualified. So this is a big step in that sense as well. You know, kind of a shift. Again, I'm not going to over exaggerate. I'm not going to say complete shift of NA. Complexity best team NA, but it's more evidence that the North American region, I feel like, is a lot closer than maybe people give it credit for, with EG, being the top dog. And sure, you can argue they still are overall. There's a lot of events, but Complexity, they showed up to this one here, and one of the bigger ones recently. So big, again, props to them on qualifying. It doesn't sound like we're going to get interviewed, unfortunately. They're celebrating. They're having a good time already, so
sure,
that's where we're at. But
congrats for them.
Congrats to Complexity once again on their victory. But all right, I guess that means we are going to be wrapping up though here, Henry. So as always, I'd like to give you any shout outs, any final words before we do.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you so much for inviting me on. I'm extremely grateful. And it's actually really crazy because I remember being, 17 and installing Han, and I remember sitting there and I was pretty lonely at the time. Life wasn't great. And I remember Hancast.com and watching literally every single game that was on there back to back to back of old players like Korok and No Tail and S4 and Envy and a million different players and that I don't even remember their names anymore. And they were all casted by Breaky CPK, man. And that's just fucking crazy,
Now here you are.
Look at me now.
Look at
to
you
be
now.
in this position. I mean, I'm just eternally grateful and to be here. And thank you.
No, thank you.
Shout out to Breaky.
I appreciate that, man. That does mean a lot. So thank you for that. And no, but you deserve it. You're a great analyst, and for the feedback I'm already getting, did a fantastic job. So I wouldn't be surprised if definitely there is more to come. So. Guys, one more time as well, again, big congratulations to Complexity. Another thing, as we've been mentioning throughout this Epicenter coverage, there is the whole caster competition going on as well. Whoever you liked, whoever you vote for, whoever it may be, let Epicenter know via social media, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. It kind of, I guess it technically helps our chances there, possibly. But the point is, give them feedback, let them know. Try to do it without being negative towards others. I think it's a good way to put it. Just praise is good. Praise is good. But so if that's myself, I really appreciate it. If it's others, understandable. Got a great set of casters here covering these Epicenter qualifiers, and again with this casting competition. But I got to say again, when I was asked if I wanted to cast Complexity versus EG finals, I obviously didn't even have to think twice about it. Got a hell of a grand finals, and what a way to finish it with Complexity again qualifying in the end. So congratulations one more time to them as they advance on, going on to Moscow, competing at the Epicenter LAN that is. But as far as wrapping up here goes, you can follow my co-caster Henry at Rod Dota. You can follow myself at Breaky CPK. Congratulations, Complexity. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys.